Hello chaps, it's Sunday morning and it's the 14th, halfway through the month of May, and it's still freezing in the UK. However, I thought I'd do a little unusual test today which might explain a certain problem, which has been my distrust of Damascus razors. I'm reverting back to my several tests on the Boker 88 Damascus, which is a monstrously beautiful razor, but I couldn't quite get the hang of getting it right. I tried 3 different edges, still not a lot of luck. So anyway, today, Tabac, which is very kind. I've been a bit under the weather, so do forgive me. Touch of the Montezuma's revenge. So yesterday, after a lot of driving, a considerable amount of hassle, I thought I need a rest. I want to have a good shave. Anyway, back to what I was rabbiting on about. Yeah, I mean, I love the build quality of these very expensive Boker Damascus. They're full 88 razor. They're a true Damascus all the way through, which is, I think, what's been giving me the trouble. It's a very, very high-tech steel. It's stainless Damascus. I really have had trouble trying to match it to the quality of shave you get from a homogeneous blade, particularly some of my rather beautiful early blades, particularly Philharmonicas, which is my standard. You judge everything against a good Philharmonica. If you've got a couple of good Philharmonicas, they are the benchmark for good shaving, in my opinion. As I say, this is very subjective. Anyway, enough of this. Let's see if that's enough. I think that's enough. But I'm going to do a dapper shaves. Always hydrate your brush and lather. I've been very naughty in the past. I didn't hydrate enough and my lathers were sticky. You don't really want sticky lather. Anyway, let's see how this one goes. Now, here we go with the big Damascus. This is typical German engineering. It's supremely well made, but I think I might have cracked it. I think I might have cracked the trick. Let's find out, and then I'll tell you how. Yeah, that's better. It ain't perfect. Oh, but it's good. Yeah. I'll now tell you what I did. Because it's such a strange steel, I made the mistake of stropping it exactly the same as my other razors. Mistake, I think. So what I've done is I've more than doubled the amount of stropping. So I've done 40 plus laps on Kaneyama canvas. I then did 40 laps on the buff side of the Kaneyama, which I've been very lucky to have a very smooth alternative buff side. Thank you, Gary. I got one from Gary. And then another 40 laps. Well, getting the numbers up now on the very smooth, high polished side, which I then checked my hanging hair test. I don't want to whack on about it, but my hanging hair test now involves going the usual direction into the scale of the hair, which honestly, any half decent edge will give you a good HHT. But in the opposite direction, we are running down the length of the hair, you're going with the scales and I find that's a better test. So anyway, so far this is very nice. I've got horrible stubble, you can hear. There's no hesitation, and this is doing a good job. It is a different feel. To a homogeneous blade. But I would surmise, because I've had so much, not trouble, but so much extra stropping on this, that I've got a feeling it's actually likely to last as an edge a lot longer, because all the little peaks and troughs of the edge are being formed by two different types of layered steel. Therefore, my theory, hopefully I'm proved right, is that it will actually last longer. Yeah, against the grain, it's still got a slight bite. But I haven't got another razor to compare it with today, sorry. Normally, I'd compare it with something monstrously wonderful. It's still good. For those perhaps just tuning into my channel to find out what it's all about, I would say this is all experimental stuff. I'm always trying different razors, one against the other, different edges, as a comparison, because I do believe eventually I'll find the Holy Grail. And of course there's great fun to be had in trying all these various different styles of blade and grind. Yeah. This is a very manly razor, if you don't mind me using such a remark. You do find it has a rather gruff, purposeful feel to it. It has the delicacy of a German tiger tank. But what can I say? It does a very nice job if you let it. So what I'll do now is make a couple of little passes, rehydrating, excuse me, has to be done. Right, yeah, I'm going to try a couple of little experimental passes just to see as a test how it shapes up, if my memory's still with me, against other razors. So I think it pays to experiment a little bit with these edges and with these razors, and don't expect, or at least in my opinion, don't expect the same shave from two different types of steel, because you ain't going to get the same shave. Yeah. You can hear it's doing its job very well. I would say that though I've had better, I would say I'm modestly pleased. It's definitely got more bite to it though. It's not the most comfortable edge. It's not the worst, but it's just, Let's try the other side and see what happens. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Without comparing one to another. I mean, that's BBS, but there's always the occasional little hair that's not. I think there's just a little bit here I've got to get. No. I'd still say I've got a little way to go with this fella. No. It's just a little bit coarse. I'm sorry, I'm out of camera. Oh dear, what a muffin. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of problem getting BBS here. There's a little tiny nick by going over the same area over and over and over, which is never very clever. So I'd say as far as the Damascus Boker goes, it just isn't quite as good. But for getting rid of tough stubble, it's a beast. As you can see, I've just caught the edge of the moustache there. Just very slightly. No complaints. Yeah. So, in conclusion, I'm still on the fence when it comes to Damascus. And this Boker, I'm certain a lot of people would say is magnificent. For me, see what happens when you go over the same spot too often. Just caught something there. Can't really feel it, but yeah, just trying too often over the same area. However, yeah, if you want a real brush cutter of an edge, this is a beast. If you want a refined, very smooth edge, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Yeah, this is a tiger tank. This is about as refined as a buzzsaw. You can hear it. It's a deep hollow, so it makes lots of noise, but it's a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest with you. I still think someone else could probably do a wonderful job putting perhaps a different edge on it. Its present edge had 30 laps on a black Arkansas, after being taken to 20k before that, Suhiru. You'd think after all that it would be better, but my present appreciation of edges, which isn't the highest, is if you want smoothness, go for homogeneous steel. Sorry for those that love their Damascus, but I've tried a few and it ain't for me. But if you want a big stout brush cutter, it's got a lot going for it. But its build quality is absolutely wonderful. It's a very upmarket gentleman's razor. It has selected ironwood scales. It has beautiful stainless steel screws. I would honestly say it's a very low number as well. My God, it's a low number. It's only 78 made. It's only the 78th razor made. So they're very, very selective. I'm just not entirely convinced about these steels. I've been spoilt by using good older razors, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to wrap on too long. Just a little tiny bit here. Well, I've done all I can. I've tried various tricks. Perhaps I'm lacking in something. I don't know. Anyway, chaps, there it is. That's the Boker 88 Meister Cutter in stainless steel Damascus. It's an absolute friggin' monster. I think for someone that loves their Damascus steels more than I, it might be the very tool they need. However, on that happy note, have a wonderful Sunday. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Signing off. If you like it, give me a tick, give me a buzz, and do subscribe. Thanks, guys. See you soon.